Hey guys, and welcome to my bell ringers activity. Now these activities can also be used as class warm-up or exit tickets, depending on what you wanted to do in your classroom. Now there's three types of activities. There's bell ringer questions / exit tickets, there's topic specific videos, and there's inspiring quotes. And I'm going to go over exactly how each one of them works. Now for this activity to work, what you want to do is you want to be doing only one activity per day. So you're essentially showing one of the slides within this presentation per day. Okay, the first kind of activity is going to be your bell ringer questions / exit tickets. So depending on how you want to use it in your classroom, I use it as bell ringers at the beginning, but if you'd rather use it as exit tickets at the end of your lesson, that's great too. The point of these is to assess the understanding of your students following a lesson. So again, whether it's the next day at the beginning of class or at the end of the class, as I said, I use it at the beginning of the next class, but use it as you see fit. So you can see the three examples on the bottom. What they have is a different number of questions, and they're based on the previous lesson. So this would be used after a specific lesson that ties directly to the question. For example, after the enzymes lesson, there are three questions that relate directly to that lesson. The difficulty level of these questions is such that if the students are paying attention and went home and reviewed their notes, that they'd be well prepared for this question and would be able to do it no problem. So the point of this is to make sure that your students are staying on top of the work, focusing in class, and are coming to class prepared to learn consistently every day. Second kind is topic-specific videos. Now these videos demonstrate applicability and relevance. Then they also create discussion. So I have two examples up here. So the one on the left would go for chemistry. The one on the right would be for more your biochemistry. And what you're essentially doing is you're putting up a video that at the beginning of class that relates to your topic in a general way. They're not all going to be specific to lessons. In fact, they won't be. They're going to be general applicability to the topic that you're looking at, and they're going to relate closely to the unit, but they're not going to be directly related to it. And the point of this, again, is to create a discussion. So after you show the video, you ask the students, okay, well, what do you think of this video? How does this relate to what we're talking about? Or any other kind of connection that you want to bring in. And the third type is inspiring quotes, and it's similar to the video. So you're going to be putting up a quote like the one on the left. So chemistry is thus at once a science and an art. Or the most dangerous worldview is the worldview of those who have not viewed the world. Okay, so these two examples are quotes that will create a lot of discussion among your students, and they relate directly to the unit. Okay, not directly to any particular lesson, but directly to a unit in general. Okay, and then you spend the first 5 minutes of class talking about these. You ask questions and you create that discussion. And once again, you're going to choose one activity to do with your class per day, either 1, 2, or 3. Now, what are the two key reasons why this method works? Well, number one, it encourages your students to review their notes on a nightly basis so they're ready for class. They're not necessarily going to know what slides we put up at the beginning of the next class, so this is your way of making sure that they stay on top of things. And number two, it creates a routine inside your classroom, which is very important. Now, why is routine important? Well, this routine encourages a faster, more efficient beginning to your class. Students quickly learn what's expected of them, and it encourages students to arrive on time because you're doing this right at the beginning, and if they are late, they are going to miss out. Each of the resources also includes a double-sided student answer sheet for the entire unit. This allows you to keep everything organized and easy to grade, and day-by-day teacher answer sheet. Lastly, I've also put in a teacher mark recording Google Sheet. So I created a Google Sheet, and what it does is it allows you to easily input the marks. And I'm going to show you how I mark it in a second, but it'll allow you to track it for the whole semester or a year, and then tabulate it automatically for yourself. Now the process. Now how do I do this? What exactly does my classroom look like with this presentation? Well, as soon as the bell rings, I spend 1 minute handing out the student sheets. 1 minute after the bell rings, I put the day's slide on the board and start the 4-minute timer. And I just use a Google online countdown timer. So if you just go to Google, type in countdown timer, it'll come up for you. Once the timer runs out, I collect the papers and start the lesson. So they have 4 minutes to answer these questions. Some of them will take less than 4 minutes. Some of them will need more than 4 minutes. And you can adjust this, obviously, as you need to. If your class is weaker, you can give them more time. You can allow them to have open book. It really depends on what your class is like. Generally, for higher level university / college bound courses, I make it closed book and a pretty firm 4-minute timer. But again, this is done at the beginning of class, which will allow you to really get your kids sitting down and started quickly. Marking. Now, we don't want to overburden ourselves with marking. We have enough marking. So I typically only mark the question slides and do so very quickly. I can get through the whole class in about 5 to 7 minutes, and I simply mark while the students are copying down notes or working on other tasks. tasks, excuse me. I do not mark these at home or on my prep, okay? That's not what this is for. It's not to overburden you with more marking. It's to get some additional feedback from your students. If they don't, if you don't get it done that day, I don't do them, okay? I record the marks on a Google Sheet, which automatically adds up the marks for me. And if I skip a day, no worries, okay? Because we can very easily, it tabulates it automatically for you. So I've included this, a link to this Google Sheet inside my bundle. So when you click the link, what it'll do is it'll place a copy of this Google Sheet inside your own Google Drive, and it's all ready to go at this point. And you see at the bottom there's a picture of what it's going to look like. And I've put in an example student, Jeremy student, and I've put 3 example marks in, and you can see how it's automatically tabulated on the right-hand side. Okay? So that's it. Okay, that's all there is to it. It's a fantastic way to make sure your students are engaged, and it allows you to make sure that you're collecting information and making sure that you're teaching at the appropriate level and that your students are understanding what you're saying. Okay, so if you have any questions, send me an email, and I look forward to speaking to you.